Next up, we're talking to Dick Strawbridge, a man who has ecologically converted a farmhouse, and all for the TV cameras.
Well, the show this week specifically is about how can you rebuild or how can you renovate and be green. Get the green technology into your building.
So this is important, isn't it, increasingly, because it's okay buying a new build or building your own home, but most people don't move. They live in an existing housing stock.
It's true, 98% of houses in the UK are old stock, and when you get a new 2% every year. But, you know, when you set a project like building a house or renovating a house, that's an awful lot of money, that's an awful lot of your effort goes into it. So it's best to be an informed customer and get some facts under your fingertips.
So when did you get involved with all the green issues?
We made a series, It's Not Easy Being Green, when we moved to Cornwall 2.5 years ago. Prior to that, we'd been quite green anyway. We were living a fairly green lifestyle, but, you know, big car, petrol guzzling cars and things. So we weren't doing everything we could, but then we made the decision that, you know, we wanted to move, so let's make it the move which allowed us to be completely green. So we took an old farmhouse down in Cornwall, it's a small holding, and then we started turning it as green as we possibly could.
Was it hard work?
Very. It still is. You know, it's one of those things, we're sort of 2.5 years into it, and all right, it's an old farmhouse and it's a listed building. Listed buildings are a pain in the butt. Yeah, an old farmhouse. We've got 4-foot thick walls and it's made of cob, which is like Cornish mud pies, as well as stone and brick and render. And so there's a lot to be done to it. And the whole infrastructure, the first thing we had to do is put a new roof on it, and that's a lot of money. And the one thing that I can relate to all the people who come here and visit is we spent our own money on it. You know, it takes a lot, and you have to make good decisions. Because if you're deciding you're going to spend £50,000 to get roofs redone, you only want to ever do it once, and you want it to keep its value, so you have to make a good decision.
Did you find that advice was easy to come by?
Not green advice. Right. 2.5 years ago, nobody talked about green issues, and I think It's Not Easy Being Green as a series was, you know, the first time that people saw green issues, which wasn't hemp shirts and hairy knickers. You know, oh yeah, it's really scary stuff. But you know, people think of green as hippie. It's a bit of a joke. The green movement, you could take the mickey out of. Now, everybody's doing it. And just, you know, renovation of this property, if you look at all the stands here in the exhibition centre, everybody is sort of saying this is their green credentials. That's quite important because actually we have to start addressing how much energy we're using, and I think most people need to be green in their properties to save bills downstream.
Well, this is when it sort of becomes pertinent to people, when they realise it's actually going to save them money.
I think most people know now a low energy light bulb, if you change one light bulb you use quite a lot to low energy, you can save £7 a year. Change 4 of them, that's £30 nearly. And you know, insulating your loft will save you hundreds of pounds every winter. And it makes a lot of sense. And I think if you come here, you have the options to see what you can do.
What are you going to be talking about? Because you're taking a seminar here, are you? But questions and answers. Are you expecting them to be difficult?
I hope so. I really do. Yeah, it tends to be because you tend to get quite a lot of passion with people, especially if you get people who've been living green for a long time. I'm not perfect. I don't try and do things in a perfect way. We're going to explain how we tried to become as green as we possibly could, but live in a 21st century way. I need my mobile phone, I need my computer, I do need a car, even though I travel by train quite a lot. All those things are important. I think it's part of our journey, and you know, I think we're relatively normal as a family, and some of the, thank you for that. You have to smile there. Yeah. But the whole sort of concept of how you do these things, we had some pitfalls, and a couple of years ago when we were starting, it was hard to get facts. I don't trust people. I'm an old fart. You know, when it comes down to how you spend your money, you know, somebody says this is the right answer, you don't believe them. You have to research it. We'll talk about some of the things that we've experienced and some of our highs and lows.
So what's the best piece of advice you could give to somebody who's hoping to do a renovation with eco-credentials to it? Do it.
I think it's too easy to talk about things. You just have to get stuck into it. And okay, you may not get it right if you haven't done the proper research, but there's too many excuses not to get stuck into things. You know, there's a building here behind us falling apart. Anybody could get in there and fix it up if they wanted to. And you can do it in a green way by just thinking and getting on with it. Too many excuses. The thing is, you get off your bobo and you go and get stuck in.
Thanks for talking to us. I look forward to seeing the questions and answers.
Pleasure.
Well, what what a lovely man. He not only knows his subject, but he lives it too. And judging by the amount of people in there looking for advice, there's going to be lots more people living that lifestyle. That's it for this week, I'm afraid. You can join us again at channelm.co.uk and next week for more great homes in the Northwest.